Welcome back to the Daily Outlet. I'm Carl. That's Andre.
Hello.
We got producer Nate with us.
Yes, sir.
Andre, you asked me a question earlier today. I'd like you to repeat it for the camera so that we can start this dialogue. What did you ask me earlier?
Well, I asked you multiple questions.
No. The one about interactions.
What is your opinion on online dating?
Online dating. I am personally not a fan, but that's because I'm older, bitter, don't believe in love, and clearly can't write a profile right. So let me flip it around on you. How do you feel about online dating sites and stuff?
For me, in my generation, it's easier.
Probably true.
And one of the biggest things is sex is so glorified and it's so easy to obtain
Okay.
that dating apps aren't dating apps.
No.
It's more of a if I meet you and I like you, I might date you. If not, we're gonna have sex and that's about it.
I mean, I don't think I've ever looked at a dating app when I wasn't horny.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is basically what you're saying.
Yeah. When you look at it, I would compare it to getting a kill in Call of Duty.
Okay.
You're hyped for the second. You get a match, you're like, fuck yeah. And then it leads nowhere.
Right.
So it's the same concept with online dating. I recently asked a girl out face to face, person to person, in public, talking to somebody. There was no texting, there was no anything.
You just walked up to her and asked her out.
Yeah, at her job site. And I was a little nervous.
Naturally.
But I was playing Lil Boosie in the car, so I was pumped up. And I was ready to just set it off, which is the song I was listening to, just set it off. And I said, you know what, fuck it. And she's going to say yes or no. That's it. No in between. And I walked in, sat down, said, hey, you want to go out? And she, yeah. Left with her number. Went home, did a little bit of celebrating, and that was it.
Was that more or less? Because I feel like dating sites are not really about trying to find a date. It's either you're trying to get laid,
Yep.
or, and I think mostly, it's about the instant gratification of someone thinks I'm cute enough to swipe right.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter if you talk to them or not. I think they're cute and they know it.
Yeah.
And they think I'm cute and I know it. And that's as far as it goes. As opposed to actually talking to someone, actually getting their number, actually doing the thing. Like we're meant to do. Like we used to do.
It's, like I said, just like Call of Duty. You get a kill, you feel good for the second.
Problem is, then you die 45 times, or at least I do, because I'm terrible at
dying. Dying is not getting matches,
right?
And getting a kill is getting a match, and you feel good for that second.
So what you're saying is, if Tinder was my online game of COD, I'd have a 0 kill game every time.
Well, I can't say that, but
I don't get the matches,
yes, 0 game.
so it's a 0 kill.
0 kill.
This is not making me feel better about myself.
Yeah. Well, the theory is,
again, I don't put too much effort into my
see, that's
game.
the problem.
I'm the dude, like, you're actually running around, like, with a gun trying to shoot somebody, right?
Yeah, all the time.
I'm the dude who stands at spawn and goes, eh.
Yeah, see, that's
So-
that's the issue. I'm the guy running out getting shot down all the time.
Right.
But I get one match, one kill.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck yeah. But you stand there and you get 0 kills and 45 deaths
Because I'm just standing there.
because you're just standing there.
Because I'm AFK and I walked away to go make a
That's where you
sandwich.
fuck up, yeah.
Oh, so you're saying I should not go make the sandwich.
Yeah.
I should actually focus on trying to get the kill.
Exactly. At least one kill. Even if it's not a quality kill, people who go hunting and go and kill like a deer, right?
Right.
Might not have the best antlers, might just be like a little deformed, shitty buck, but they got a kill. You got to get a kill.
And it's better than not getting the kill at all.
Exactly, yeah. At least you can say I got a kill.
Because I'm the hunter who would go sit in the deer stand and I'd fall asleep.
Yeah, for 10 years. I'm like, I didn't get any kills. And I'm just like, oh, I killed that thing. And you look at it like, that's fucking, what the fuck? What kind of...
See, now I feel like you're telling me my standards are too high.
They are.
Oh.
You gotta lower them. You gotta start from ground zero. And you can only go up from there.
Okay, but I feel like also physical attractiveness is important.
Yeah, sometimes. Doesn't matter. You gotta start from ground zero and
Okay,
build up.
and build up.
Yes.
So I got to start at the 1s and 2s and work my way to the 10 point.
Exactly. Because once you start there, you can only go up. If you start here, you're only gonna go down. Because you're not gonna get 10s, 9s, 8s, 10s, 9s, 8s.
Well, let's be honest. Look at me. I'm not going to pull a 7. I'm not an attractive man, okay? We all know this. You're looking at me surprised, like you think I'm gorgeous.
I mean, anyways, go ahead.
So you're sexually attracted to me. Got it? Cool. Where I don't remember where I was going. Oh, I'm not going to pull. My standards aren't. I'm not thinking that I'm going to pull a 10 because I'm gorgeous. I know I'm not. I mean, I got a house, but that's about all I got to offer.
Well, it's an apartment, but
Well, whatever.
it's comparable.
It's a home.
See, you gotta humble yourself.
I'm very humble.
Some would say you are, most would say you wouldn't. You gotta drop it down, buddy. You gotta bring it down here. You gotta be a regular person.
I am the most humble. Nate, I'm humble, right? Yeah, right? Thank you, Nate. See? Nate knows I'm humble.
Nate's laughing. He didn't say yes or no.
It's valid. Nate didn't actually say anything.
He didn't agree or disagree. He just laughed.
He's just so maybe I'm okay. So maybe my standards are a little high.
Mm-hmm.
A little high.
Little? What's higher than 10? 25,000?
Okay, my standards aren't that high.
You gotta bring it down, buddy.
I'm not looking like I'm trying to get taken care of.
Well, you should.
I mean, I want to be
That'd be nice.
okay. By taken care of, I don't need anybody to financially support me. I don't need anybody to pay my bills.
Mhm.
I just want to fucking hug once in a while. Like, that's what I want. Just hug me. You know what I mean?
You think 10s are gonna hug you? No. 10s want your money. You gotta bring it down, buddy. You gotta bring it down here.
Bring it down.
The 2s, the 3s, the 4s, they're gonna
Mid
hug you.
range.
They're gonna hug you and cheer you on. The 10s, if you can't buy them Papados on a Friday night, you're done. You gotta bring it down.
Here's my other thing. What if I'm bitter and jaded
Mm-hmm.
and don't care?
Well, you're fucking up. Because the 2s and the 3s and the 4s, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna teach you something. To be humble. To understand that you can be as much of an asshole as you want to. The 10s, they don't give a fuck. The 2s, they don't give a fuck either. So now you're just fucked. You gotta learn to respect everybody.
I do respect everybody, though.
Yeah, well,
My problem is not that my standards are too high. They might be a little bit.
yeah, they absurdly are. Yeah.
Okay, you know literally nothing except for everything about me.
Yeah.
So yeah, my standards might be a little high,
Mm-hmm.
but also I don't care to try,
That's the issue.
and that's I think a personal thing. And
Yeah.
the problem is I've been single for so long
Mm-hmm.
that putting that much effort into another human being doesn't sound like fun to me.
See, but that's the fun part.
Putting effort into someone?
Yeah, and see, you've known it's ruined me multiple times this year.
Yeah, multiple times this year.
But it's always a learning experience every single time. Because
Okay.
you learn what to not do and what to do.
I'm also several years older than you.
Yeah.
I've done the whole learn from my past relationships, blah, 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 blah thing.
Mhm.
I've done that. And I think what I've learned is that I don't want to try.
But you have to.
Why? Why do I have to try?
If you don't, nobody's gonna try for you.
Right.
Because there's probably some.
But I'm okay with that.
Well,
Like my point is I'm okay being single.
that's where we have different, I guess, perceptions on that. I was raised in a single household,
Right.
so I don't know matrimony and what that whole feeling is like.
See, I've been married.
Yeah, and
I've been divorced.
Yeah, and I think that's why I chase that, is because I don't know what it's like.
Now, I will say that just because I don't want a relationship, love, any of that kind of stuff, that doesn't mean I'm going to dissuade you from doing it. I think you should chase that. I think you should go out there. I think you should take this girl on a date, and you guys should go to Applebee's or Chili's or whatever's open right now.
It's Chili's.
Literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But have fun sitting on the patio in 28 degrees. But whatever. You do you, right? You guys have fun. I want you to go out. I want you to have fun. I want you to find love. I really hope you do.
Thank you.
I don't feel the pressure or the desire to find someone.
That makes sense.
I mean, if someone walks in my door right now and goes, "You, me, we're together now," I'd be like, "All right." I'm not going to change my life for you. Still going to play video games and all that kind of stuff.
Jerk off twice a day?
Yeah, twice.
Twice? Oh, Jesus. Those are rookie numbers, huh?
Rookie numbers. I'm going to need you to pump those numbers up there, bud.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go out, like, if something happens, it happens. I think for me, the chase has lost its allure. Its excitement.
That makes sense.
But I've been doing it.
Yeah.
And I did it for a long time and started at a comparatively young age.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had my first girlfriend at 15, 16 years old.
That's how I lost my virginity. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, my actual virginity. Yeah, also, technology, I think, is one of the biggest players of love and interaction.
Nowadays, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's such a difference between your generation and mine.
Yes.
Because
100%.
back then, there was no standard of, oh, Brian's boyfriend just got this new house. You want to buy a house? You know, that kind of standard of like, they're doing better than we are, so we should do this.
It is much easier to check up on the Joneses now.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think highly increases the desire to keep up with the
Everybody.
Joneses.
Yeah.
Like everything's on Instagram, everything's on Facebook, everything's on Snapchat, whatever. When I was growing up, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 16 years old.
That sucks.
And it was one of them old school, like, your mom would throw it at you and try to kill you Nokia phones, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure mine's still sitting around somewhere, not going anywhere.
Probably fully charged.
Fully charged still. It hasn't been plugged in 28 years, but here we are.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, every bit of news you got was from your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And, you'd show up to school and, hey, so what's, who, and you've talked to them and they've talked to me and we all swap stories and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There wasn't any of this Instagram, instantly check up on them. When I was growing up, when I started to date 16, 17 years old, there was no Tinder, there was no Bumble, there wasn't any of that shit. You had to actually, my first real girlfriend, I sat next to in biology 100.
Nice.
We talked in class, and in class I asked her if she wanted to go get something to eat. She said yes, we dated, now admittedly for 2 weeks, but still, like, we had to do it face to face. You don't have to do that anymore.
No. Now it's just it's a simple text, a FaceTime,
Mm-hmm.
a Tinder message, and you've heard plenty of my battle stories.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, it's very soul draining.
I can see that.
Because you, like you were saying earlier, you live off this gratification of getting a match and then texting somebody, and then now it's just a hookup or a hangout, and you feel good for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, you just kind of like don't have that same
Connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it when I asked the girl out at work, it was just, my soul was like, yeah,
This is how it's supposed to be.
this feels right. You
Yeah.
know? And then you know I'm like, and I was leaving and I was playing Lil Boosie, shout out Lil Boosie, and I was driving home, windows down, and I was just fucking bumping that shit, and I was like, I feel fucking good.
And you
right
feel
now.
good.
I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, I asked a girl on a fucking date in person. It's been fucking a long time, and it's only gonna get worse.
With COVID and all that shit. Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
COVID, technology, because now there's no need to leave your house to fucking talk to somebody.
No. FaceTime's a thing.
Yeah, you can just add somebody's Snapchat and say, hey, I think you're cute, and you just text for a little bit, and next thing you know, you're fucking hanging out. There's no, like, and it sounds cliche, but there's no, like, approaching a girl in a diner.
No.
Who works at the diner? Hey, I want to take you out for coffee. Oh, me? There's none of that shit anymore.
No.
Because there's no. It's either you're approaching them genuinely, and they want to hang out with you, or they assume you want to have sex with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's this very weird divide between being a genuine dude who wants to actually like, take a chick out and hang out with her and know her, or let's go to the bar, get fucked up, and then have sex, and I'll never talk to you again.
Yeah, I think the problem that has come out of all of these dating apps is there are people who, like yourself, who genuinely want to get to know someone. I want to know about you. I want to know what you want to do with your life. I want to know what makes you tick. But for every one of you, there's 100 Chads who just want to fuck.
Yeah.
And so the problem is when they get 100 Chads and one you, naturally, I mean, this is just the way the world works. They're just going to assume that you're a Chad.
Yep.
Because the other 100 have been. So why aren't you one?
Exactly.
And it sucks for real dudes.
It's almost like being a lion excluded from his pride.
Okay.
Because all the other lionesses know, oh, he's here to fuck shit up. He's just here to fuck. And you're here to establish a pride.
Yeah.
You're here to do good stuff.
Yeah.
And you show up and you're just treated like the rest of the fucking lions.
Just a bad dude.
Just a bad fucking lion.
And you're like, no, I just want to take care of my group.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to take care of you.
It's a hard thing, man.
And I think that's what we're missing when we go online versus the face-to-face human aspect of things. Like, because we could do this online.
Yeah.
You could sit at your house and I could sit at mine and we could FaceTime and record and just slap it up.
Yeah,
but it's the human interaction. It's the way you and I have to talk to each other.
Yeah.
You lose that when you go online. Because I could send you a text and be like, hey, what are we doing tonight?
Yeah.
And you could formulate a response over the next hour. I don't know who you are by your 1 hour delayed response.
Yeah.
Much like you wouldn't know who I am over a 1 hour delayed response.
100%.
And so when you're trying to get to know somebody online over a dating app, you can't, they aren't forced and you aren't forced to respond instantly to what they're saying. And if I went, hey, I'm really into sucking toes, they can online, they can just be like, well, I'm out, and they unmatch.
Yeah.
And it's done.
Or just don't respond.
Versus if I were sitting right here and I go, hey, I like to suck toes. And you see, it's a genuine reaction.
Well, see, I like sucking toes.
Yeah, I'm not so much into feet. Like,
yeah. That's the difference between me and you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're 100% right. It's very weird now. And it's so fucked up because you shouldn't feel uncomfortable talking to a female.
In the flesh.
Like in person, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're around you all the time.
Well, I mean, outside of the natural, like, your brain's trying to work against you, what if she says no? Like, that's normal human reaction.
Exactly.
But it shouldn't be weird to talk to someone in face-to-face.
Yeah, and you know, it was the coolest fucking thing when I asked her out, and the look in her, well, she had a fucking mask on because COVID's a fucking bitch.
Right.
But just look in her face when I was like, you want to go out sometime? And she kind of looked, and it was almost like she was like flabbergasted.
That somebody actually was going to do it?
Like a dude asked her out in person.
Yeah.
And like really just, you want to go out? She, yeah. And I was like, oh.
See, I wonder if that played into your favor. Like,
I think it did.
Like someone actually had the cojones to face ask me out.
I think also it was a
Because it's easy to hide behind a keyboard or whatever
yeah,
when you're asking someone out.
exactly.
I mean, how many of these things online are like, oh yeah, he asked me out, but then he never showed, or
Yeah.
I mean, you watch TikTok videos, and I don't know about you, but I get all the single moms because apparently TikTok knows or thinks it knows what
You're
I
a
want.
single dad.
Yeah, exactly. But like horror stories of I drove a half an hour to meet this dude and he never showed up, or
Yeah.
I've been talking to this dude for a month and he's never asked me out, or I'm like, why? Like, I mean, I understand COVID's a thing.
Mhm.
I get it. But like if I were gonna date, if I met this chick, she was super cool, we met online, whatever, cook dinner for her, take her out to a patio somewhere, whatever. Like,
Take her to Chili's.
take her to Chili's apparently is super cool.
It is nowadays.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Any place that lets you in is cool. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
anywhere we can go. It's, dude, it was really self-gratifying to, and it sounds weird, but it made my day and hers. And I don't know if it made her day, but I could almost tell immediately when I asked her out in person, because I just walked in there and just said, yeah, sat down and said, hey, you want to go out? And she was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And also kind of, I could tell flattered, because she was like, yeah. And then wrote her number down and then gave me it, and I was like, and
I'll hit you up.
Yeah, and I walked out and I was like, all right, well.
Felt like king of the world, I guarantee it.
I mean, I didn't play Lil Boosie too loud before I left, but I made sure it was blasting so I could hear the bass.
Hell yeah.
I walked in. What the fuck, you know what it is. But yeah, it was like, it was cool, man. It's weird with this whole COVID thing, because now there is no, like, going to the bar. You can't do that.
Nope.
Going to a restaurant.
Can't really do that.
Can't do that either. You standing in line at Walmart. That's ridiculous.
What are you gonna do? Ask the chick with the nice button for any if she wants to go out?
I might as well now.
Especially in this town.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much shit that's so different. And your generation and my generation are so completely opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys were the introduction to technology, and we were just born into it.
Yeah.
It was just natural for us.
You guys were literally issued an iPhone at birth.
It's just natural. It's
And
just like,
we had to learn how to use them.
yeah, you guys are like blowing on cartridges for your N64s, and we're just like
Yeah.
PS2s.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, cartridges? What?
What?
Like, and now it's to a point where you don't even have to leave your house to meet somebody.
Yeah.
And I've told you plenty of stories. I just hang out in my house and just bring them over.
Yeah.
There's no like interaction. It's just, hey,
There's no dating anymore.
No.
I mean, yeah, COVID is a thing, and it changed a lot of things. I don't want to say ruined. I mean, it ruined things.
ruin a lot
It
of
ruined my goddamn vacation.
things. Yeah.
But it changed a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it changed dating nearly as much as it could have.
Yeah.
Because I think we were already doing the whole
Online stuff.
online, everything's online, slide into their DMs, meet them on the apps, FaceTime date things. I don't think it changed it a whole lot. I think it just made it so that anybody who was still trying to go on actual dates
Mm-hmm.
couldn't anymore.
Yeah. Now it's more prominent.
Yeah.
And it's easier.
Yeah. It's just a thing now.
Yeah.
Because it has to be. It always was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, for the last 10 years. Well, I don't know how long Tinder's been around, but
Well, yeah. Yeah. 5, I guess. I don't know.
A while.
Yeah. A while.
But everything's gone online, and so yeah, COVID didn't change it a whole lot, mostly because we were already doing it. Everything was already online.
But now it's weird that now it makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of theories and stuff. I'm not gonna get into that. But it's a whole lot easier and a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because now you have an entire generation right now who did not go to school for an entire year,
Yeah.
who has no social interaction with their friends, kids who didn't get bullied who should have, kids who weren't the bullies who should have been bullies, everything in between. Just
Yeah.
typical school interactions.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole generation of that skipped.
Right.
A whole year of that skipped. And Lord knows when it's going to end.
Not anytime soon.
Exactly. So now you have your generation, pre-technology, typical upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
My generation, technology kind of like blending in the whole thing. And now you have kids who are going to school online. Who don't get shoved in the lockers, who don't play sports, who don't, what's next? Just no social interaction at all. Everything's online.
Everything's online.
Everything's on. There's just no. There's no social interaction between kids and their parents and their teachers and principals and.
Interestingly enough, that's one of the fights. I've got kids.
Yeah.
I got 3 kids. That's one of the fights that my ex and I are having with our kids right now. Is they constantly have a device.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly. And yes, we gave them to them. But getting them to, like, right now, my oldest son is grounded from devices because he sneaks out of his room at night to watch YouTube until 3 in the morning.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but, okay, so he's grounded from those things, right? He still has to get on one to do school.
To go to school, yeah.
And I'm not going to say you can't go to school. A, it's against the law. And B, I actually want him to learn. I want him to be a smart kid, and he is a smart kid. But how do we get the device out of their hands? Like, how do I get them to play a board game? Because when I grew up, okay, yeah, you could play the... I remember when the NES came out. I was like 5 years old. I got one. But I had to play it on this monstrous TV that had 3 channels and barely worked.
Weighed 500 pounds.
Weighed 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And if I sat there for too long, the tubes started to like heat up, and it didn't do the right colors and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Off.
And you had to turn it off.
Yeah.
You couldn't be on a device all day.
Mm-hmm. Now it's like we were talking about last time. It's fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And this COVID thing has made it so. I was at Arby's on Friday when I was off, and I was listening to a podcast, and I'm sitting in the drive-thru, and I'm looking at the window, and it says, "We do DoorDash and whatever else they do,
Grubhub or whatever.
Yeah, everything else." And I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, what if that's the future? There's just no more going out. It's just everything is here in front of your face. You don't need to leave your house to get food. You can just order shit on Walmart. They'll bring it to you. If you want Domino's pizza, well, obviously that's been a thing, but they'll bring that to you. If you need anything, they'll bring it to you.
Groceries, whatever, yeah.
They'll bring it to your house. There's no more, you gotta go to school, do it at your house. It's a weird, it's a really weird time, man.
Working from home,
work from home, yeah.
Sleep, yeah.
Even this new COVID vaccine, man, I was reading an article, and I was talking at work the other day about it. They're going to make it mandatory that if you don't get the vaccine, there's no you can't get your what do you call it, your check, your little check from the government. What do they call them? Your
stimulus?
Yeah, your stimulus.
Really?
If you don't get the vaccine, you're not qualified for your stimulus check.
Okay.
And that's a really weird small step to mandating a lot of different things.
Yeah.
A lot of different things.
Now, the problem is, if it stops there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it stops there.
If it stops there.
I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Because COVID's an issue and we need to get it under control. 100%. And I think most everybody can agree with that.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
The problem is I don't trust our government to stop there.
Yeah, it's not going to. Yeah. It's a really weird time to be alive.
It's a very weird time to be alive.